Wes Rodriguez. I'm Marin, and this is the No Title Show. In studio today, we have a couple of guests, but we'll be introducing them in a minute. Up to very recently, about, I don't know, when did I move in here?
Oh, about 8 months ago? No,
8 months ago? You're crazy, man. I moved in here like 2 years ago.
Has that been that long, really?
I think it's a year, maybe?
Maybe a year.
How long have I been on Xbox Live?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Maybe a little over a year.
Maybe a year. Well, let's give it a year. Fuck it. A year.
A year and a half. 1 year. I don't know, folks. I just pay the bill. Just hand them the rent check. And they love me. They treat me pretty good, man. Last week, I've been watching the progression of painting going on around the apartment building. They have covered up a kind of a light brownish, like a failed attempt at a military brown, kind of ugly and drab, and then a little darker brown trim. But that's besides the point. They've gone to a lighter tan, and the person they hired isn't as, let's say, concerned about detail as one should be in his line of business. They hired him to retile my bathroom, and it turned out absolutely beautiful. So he does great tile and granite work, I guess. But when it comes to painting exteriors, he fails, like miserably fails. So he's painting the exterior, and he is right near the entrance wrought iron gate, which is about maybe 8 or 9 feet from where I parked my car. And he did a great job of covering the bush, but not like the surrounding concrete, or maybe paid attention to where his back spray was flowing. Because now I got these little tan speckles across my hood and trunk, which is unfortunate. But I use my car for transportation. I don't use it as a status symbol, thank God, because I probably would be judged pretty harshly. I've got into a car accident about 1.5 years ago, and now I have a white hood, primered white hood, and it stands out. But I really don't care about its appearance. As long as it's clean and the fluids are kept up and it's in running condition, I'm happy. You know, it's a step up from a mountain bike. And we'll get into that into another show. But moving on, he neglected to notice that his job was putting paint particulate into the air, which was floating over to my hood and bumper. So, like I said, I've got these nice little speckles across my trunk and hood. I brought it to the attention of my manager, and so I've got these white speckles on my bumper and hood. So I brought it to the attention of my apartment manager, who in turn brought it to the attention of the apartment owners. And they promptly got in touch with me, told me that they were on their way to check out the problem. He verified the problem and then suggested that he compensate me in some way. And I threw out the idea, why don't you just give me a break on the rent? And so that conflicted with him, because I guess his wife takes care of those issues. It's like, don't let's bring my wife into it. What can I do for you that'll make you happy, put a smile on your face? And I suggested the idea that I probably wouldn't be happy regardless. I was kind of being a hard ass because I could tell he wanted to work with me on it, and so he said, "How about I give you $100?" and I weighed the idea in my mind, and for some reason I thought of Earl Scheib. We'll paint any car for $99.95. Isn't that how much it was? $99.95?
Yeah, $99.95. You're right.
So I'm like, yeah, $100. A car that's not that great. About 12 years old. Doing the math, and I just kind of said, yeah, well, all right, that'll work, I guess. And I didn't act too excited about it. So he came into the apartment to check out some other little issues, and while we were talking, he's like, you know what? Would $150 be a little more acceptable? And just to see that he was trying to just appease me, make me feel a little bit better about the situation. I thought that was kind of cool, and it made me crack a smile. And he's like, "All right, as long as I see a smile on your face, I'm happy." So in like 30 minutes, his wife came knocking on my door with a $150 check, and I promptly deposited that check in the bank. So they treat me pretty good. They're always leaving cards on my door, candy and whatnot, depending on the holiday. And they tell me they love having me as a tenant. And every time they come in here and they have to take care of something like replace the smoke alarm or whatever, just do regular, managerial maintenance. And they always say, you keep a great apartment. It's always nice in here, and we respect that. It smells good when we come in. We don't have to worry about food or bugs and roaches and further problems that we'll have to take care of when you move out.
Right.
So they're very cool to me. And so I've been living here over a year and a half or so. But the situation is, when I moved in, I had a dog with me, and he was a really cool dog. He had some separation anxiety issues. He would freak out and bark and do damage.
Love to bark.
And whenever I'm not here, there was always something to come back to. And I had bought one of those one of those anti-bark collars that would give him a little shock. Kind of bothered me, but I had to take care of the issue. I was getting complaints from neighbors wherever I lived.
I had a girlfriend once she got too loud when I slept with her. I had to use one of those on her.
Wow.
Just want to throw that in there.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Was that a pro or a con?
You know what? It was both. I'm sorry. I just had
Did that add to an interesting sexual dynamic, or did that dry her up, so to speak?
No, it definitely did not dry her up. That's a definite.
That's fascinating.
I'm sorry I interrupted your story there.
That's all right. It's a two-man show. So,
dog apartment moving in. Dog barks.
Dog barks a lot, does damage, kind of curbed his behavior a little bit, but anyways, what was available was a studio, and I knew that I couldn't keep him indoors all day. It wouldn't be conducive to quality of life for a dog, who loves being outside, loves running around, interacting with other dogs, and so I had to put him up for adoption, which was a bummer, and it brought me down, but it was a means to an end. But you live and you learn. I've got a lot of history with animals, and some of them have taught me good lessons. Some of them have scarred me deeply. But I'm not going to bring the show down. But I think we'll talk about that eventually in a future show. But when it comes to this situation, it transitions into how I met our guests. So I'm one of the owners that when I got a dog, it's not just like an ornament for the yard. It was like an addition to a family. I really got into him, took him around wherever I went.
I have two cats, places. And they're definitely family. I've had my one cat, Pirate. I've had her for 12 years.
Pirate's very cool. Why is he called Pirate?
A lot of people would think it's because she only has one eye, but that's not the case. She actually. I used to go to work, and when I came,
And usually
home,
a pirate with one eye carries a patch.
right.
You should implement that into his life.
Well, this is why I called her pirate. It's actually 2 words, pirate.
Okay.
And what it was those little pecan pies that you buy at the stores, and they're for like $1.25 or whatnot. And I would come home from work, and I would take it, and I would set it on my little table, and I'd go jump in the shower. And the 2 or 3 times that I did that, I came back and the pie was gone. And I was drinking a lot at the time, so I thought maybe I was just too fucked up or whatnot, And so one day I set it there, and I guess I got out of the shower early. And what happened was I happened to come around the corner, and I seen her literally grabbing my pie and dragging it off into the little corner so she could munch on it. And I'd had the cat for like maybe.
What was the size of the pie to cat size ratio?
Like a 3-inch pie, a little pie. You buy them in the little packages,
So barely like an eighth of the way to the cat.
Yeah, she literally grabbed it and pulled it. And
it wasn't like a big old like
a homemade apple pie, no.
Right, like a Marie Callender's pie.
No, not at all, not at all. And up until that point, I'd had the cat for about I want to say about 4 years. And up until that point, people would say, "What's the name of your cat?" And I would say, "Shut the fuck up, you stupid cat," because I would never feed it, and it would always fucking cry. So I would always say, "Shut the fuck up, you stupid fucking cat." And that was literally its name up until this day. That one day I just said,
So not when somebody asked you, like, "What's the name of your cat?" You're not yelling at them, "Shut the fuck up, you stupid cat."
That's so funny, because that's exactly what people would thought. They'd be like, "Dude, I'm just asking you." I go, "No, that's the name of my cat." They'd be like, "What the?" So anyway, after that, it wasn't until, because my mind was in a haze back then, and so I was like, "You little rat-eating motherfucker," and so I started calling her Pirate, "You little pirate," and as time went on, I guess the fog lifted from my brain, and I started just running them together, and I called her Pirate. And then someone would come over and they're like, "Hey, what's your cat's name?" I go, "Oh, Pirate." And they're like, "Oh, because of the one eye?" And I'm like, "Yeah, because of the one eye." So I kind of, but when people ask, like, we're in conversation like we are now, I throw that out there, but that's the original name, the original reason why I gave her.
You're not going to gloss over the fact that the cat has a one eye, right?
She does have one eye. You're right.
Right.
She does have one eye.
Right.
And then I have Silver.
Marin.
Yes.
You do realize everybody's wondering why it has one eye, right?
Oh, okay. No, I'm so bad. This is it's a horrible story, and I hate to be a downer, but it has a happy ending. It really does. When the cat was about maybe 3 weeks old, if that, it was born under my apartment, and my neighbor, whose name will remain nameless, Randy, he was having fun one day, and he decided to shoot at the cats with a paintball gun, and he literally blew her eye out. And
we all go through a paintball phase.
Yeah. And so my son's mother at the time got seen that he was doing that, right, and kind of scolded him for it, and took the cat, brought her in, and literally the eye was gone. The eye was literally gone, and it was bleeding, and it was just really gnarly, And I guess her motherly instincts took over. I don't know, but before I know it, she's got like a little patch over her eye, and she's gauzing it, and trying to feed it, with a little eyedropper and everything, And I've never been a big fan of any pets. I'm not. At least back then, I wasn't. My son was like 19 days old at the time, and I just thought, well, what do we need a cat for? It's just another responsibility, I got a kid on the way. I have a kid there, and I'm worried about a little cat, And anyway, we nursed it back to health. She actually nursed it back to health, and that was in '99, and in '02, we separated, and I got to keep the cat and the kid. And I've raised both of them ever since.
Package deal.
A package deal. And I've been sober since '07. And I'll tell you why I love this cat so much. Because